And I want to show you a clip. He doesn't have a whole lot of use, as you can imagine, for Jack Smith.
Deranged person. I call him deranged Jack Smith. He just lost the big documents case. That was the biggest of them all. They said the documents case, and they said that was the toughest of them all. Let me tell you, we just won it, and it was won strongly and completely, and it was a total victory in Florida. And he is a person who is trying, and he works for Kamala, and he works for Joe. This was a weaponization of government, and that's why it was released 30 days before the election. And
that's important what he's saying. You know what? It was released 30 days before the election. Why? Was this the October surprise that they were all talking about? We heard from Carville. We heard from Hillary Clinton. There's going to be an October surprise. Was this it? You guys are going to have to do better. You know, I'm just calling it like it is. You're going to have to do better. Because this is just more of the same. And it's coming at a time when the appeals court is looking at Letitia James' whopper there. And they're like, wait a second, we need to put some, quote, guardrails. That's the judge's word, guardrails, around attorney generals. So they're not doing this kind of stuff in the future. Well, what kind of guardrails do we have for a DOJ? For a Department of Justice that's so rabid? Donald Trump writing on Truth Social, the release of this falsehood-ridden, unconstitutional J6 brief immediately following Tim Walz's disastrous debate, it was disastrous, debate performance, and the 33 days before the most important election in the history of our country is another obvious attempt by the Harris-Biden regime to undermine and weaponize American democracy and interfere in the 2024 presidential election. I'm telling you, what else is this at this point? I know they're going back and they're going back and they keep getting smacked down at every turn. You got the appeals court smacking them down. You got the Supreme Court saying, yeah, that's not going to work. And they keep going back. Like at some point, it's like the little boy who cried wolf. And so Americans are like, what now? Seriously, what now? It's not going to work. I'm just telling you, you know what? I told you guys, those on the left, if you happen to be listening, you know, we get one every now and then. I told you not to run Joe Biden. That was like a kamikaze mission. Told you not to run Joe Biden. I'd also advise you not to run Kamala, but I get it. You know, you needed to get the money, and that was the most expedient path to getting the money. I still would argue that you kind of pulled a fast one on the American people, and if I were the Democrat Party, I'd be pretty darn annoyed about all of it. But you're running her. Again, not the best choice. Trust me, not the best choice. But you guys didn't understand that with Hillary Clinton now either, did you? Hillary Clinton had such amazing negativity surrounding her that Hillary was also just a lousy candidate in every way, shape, or form. And now you got Kamala, who may actually, no pun intended, trump her in terms of the unlikability factor. People really don't like her. And so you've got yourselves a lousy candidate all over again. Donald Trump could win this thing. I want to get to the polls, but first, just a shout out for my own company, 76 Research. We've got all of the monthly reports coming out right now, and they are spectacular. But I want to share with you, this is the Income Builder portfolio, median stock return of 15% versus 6% on the S&P for the months ending 8/29/24. And you're looking at it and going, well, what is this? Why should I be in this? This is my company, 76 Research, that I started with a very dear friend, Rob Horton, who spent 20 some odd years on Wall Street, absolutely brilliant investor. And our idea here was to take some of that very, very sophisticated research that Wall Street pays tons and tons of money for and bring it to you guys, right? And to do this in a very scaled way. So the idea here is volume. So we have so many subscribers that we're able to offer this much more cheaply. And we have 3 different portfolios there. We have the basic income portfolio. We have the American Resilience portfolio, which just had a great month of September, as well as the inflation adjusted, or rather the inflation protection portfolio. So I encourage you to go to 76 Research. It's $9.95 a month, and for like an additional $22, $23, you can get one of those model portfolios. But the basic 76 report is really something you should be taking a look at. 76research.com. Again, go to 76research.com, sign up, look at those model portfolios. You can get the whole kit and caboodle. You can get all of the model portfolios. It's the best value if you become one of our founders there in the Founders Club. But this is in part what I just want to try and do for you guys, because look, it's a confusing world out there. It's a very inflationary world out there, and you need to be looking out for yourself.